Welcome to Geometry for AP. Tonight we're going to talk about similar polygons. First thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get a few things written down. So let's write down these things that I'm marking for you. If you didn't already get those with the other notes, these will be important with today's notes. So pause the video and write all of these different things that I've marked down. Okay. Also, I want you to write the essential question or essential understanding. All right, now that you have all this information down, let's talk about what some of this information means. All right, so first of all, proportions can be written one of two ways. It can be written in this way, which is a fraction, a ratio is equal to a ratio. Remember that this one thing right here is a ratio, and the whole thing is a proportion. Okay, and so there are extremes and there are means. And so we want everybody to know the difference between those two things. Sorry, the board's messing up a little bit. All right. So the means are the two numbers on the inside. The extremes are the two numbers on the outside when written as a ratio. And so make sure you understand what those places are. Okay. It's harder to tell when it's written as a fraction form. So these are the extremes. These are the means. All right. Cross product property means that if you have a proportion, A over B equals C over D, where B and D are not equal to 0 because they can't be divided by 0, then when you cross multiply, AD is equal to BC. All right, and that's why we do work the proportions the way we do. All right, so if you have similar polygons, every angle should be matching, and all the corresponding sides should be proportional. So one of the ways to tell if figures are similar, we set up each one of these ratios and check to see that it's the same ratio every time, and that all the angles are congruent. Okay, so similar figures have the same angles, but different sides. Okay, and this is the symbol right here for similar, the little single wave. So ABC is similar to GHIJ, and each figure corresponds to the corresponding parts. All right, so we look here, it says, what are the similar pairs of angles? And so when we have this similarity statement here, we say that angle M and angle S are similar, are congruent, N and R are congruent, P and T are congruent. And we know that side MN is proportional to SR, and MP is proportional to RT, and MP is proportional to ST. So this is a proportionality statement right here. This shows us all the matching parts. All right. So if we look at this, we want to determine if these figures are proportional. And so we want to match up the sides. Now the figures are twisted and turn around, so be careful how you match up the sides. So I'm going to start with the DE side, which is 5, and I match the corresponding side, which is 4. Then I've got a 10. Corresponding side is the 8. And finally the last side, which is 12 over 9.6. So this one can't be reduced, but this one reduces to 5 over 4. And then we check this last one and see, you can use a calculator and you can take and do 12 divided by 9.6 and see what you get, because this is 1.25. This is 1.25. And this one's going to be also going to be 1.25. So these two triangles are similar. And so then we can say triangle CDE is similar to triangle. So let's match up C, D, and E. So the corresponding would be T, U, and V. And that's my similarity statement, and each one of my sides came out to be the same ratio. All right. So if we take a look at this one and we want to find, it says, are the polygons similar? So first we want to check all the angles. All the angles match. Then we want to check the sides. We have JK over TU. It's 12 over 6 reduces to 2 over 1. LM and VW, which are 24 over 14, that reduces to 12 over 7. KL over UV, which reduces to 3 over 2. And finally JM and TU, which reduces to 1 over 1. Now, since none of the sides are proportional with the same ratio, these two figures are not similar. Okay? The next one we check, are the angles congruent? The angles are all congruent, so then we have to check the sides. So we have 12 over 15, We look at the angle marks to tell which one to compare, which reduces to 4 over 5. We got the 16 over 20, which we can tell by the side marks, which is a 405, and then the 8 over 10, which is 405. And so therefore the ratio for these two figures is 4 to 5. And so that's triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Okay, so you have to match those corresponding sides up. And it may take you time, you have to do all the sides. All right, so let's look at this next question. It says, using these figures are similar, what is the value of x? So if we take a look at the values here, we have two trapezoids in here, and so we have FG, which is this side right here, over BC. And we also have that this side of the trapezoid is 6 and the other one is 9. And so we can set up this ratio here. So x over 7.5 and 6 over 9. We can cross multiply and solve. We get x is equal to 5. So therefore B is our correct answer. Okay. So again, make sure you match up the corresponding sides. Don't let y be the distractor. We didn't need to find y. But I would like you to find the value of y in this video. So go find the value of y and see what you get. And you can come back to class. You can ask me to tell you the value of that y value if you want, if you're not sure if you got it right or not. All right, so let's take a look at these problems. I want you to do each of these problems. When you're done with them, you can start the video. You can check your answers. Okay, so now that you've worked these problems, let's check your answers. Your answer should be x is equal to 10 for this one, and x is equal to 22 over 5 for that one. Okay, so if you don't get these answers, make sure you ask questions when you come back to class, and we can discuss those. All right, pause the video on this one, work through this one, see what you get, and see how you do. All right, so for this one, you should check your work here and see what you get, see if you get the same answers I do. If you did not get this answer, make sure you ask me a question tomorrow about what's wrong with your answer, because you're making a pretty big mistake and we need to clarify it. All right, and that wraps the end of our video, and have a good night, and see you tomorrow in class.